Just a few more games in this USL Championship weekend. We come to you from Leesburg, Virginia in Segra Field as Loudoun United plays host to Miami FC. Today's match is presented by Segra. With Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday evening from Virginia. And a big game in the Atlantic standings, especially for Miami FC. They are trying to hold on to that fourth spot, the final playoff spot, and they can move up into third spot with just a point today, going up against Loudoun United. Just 2 wins on the season out of 10. They sit at the bottom of the standings, but for this Loudoun United side, they have put themselves in great positions to score goals. They just haven't been able to find the back of the net on a regular basis.
Goals win games. I mean, truly, that's what it comes down to. And everybody likes to talk about conversions and numbers and how that all plays out. XG, the expected goals, is an interesting one that's being thrown around right now. They are top 10 in the league right now, Josh, for expected goals. But that 8.3 conversion percentage is at the bottom of the league. Nobody has taken down the title within this league unless they've been at 17% or higher. They have to more than double their efforts. 6 out of the 10 in the top 10 are not even above the playoff line right now. So you got to find a way to hit the back of the net. The interesting way about it, though, is that they're putting together quality performance. You're talking about teams in the Eastern Conference that could make a run at this title, and they're right there with them. But it's those little things in the final third. This team notoriously starts fast and finishes slow. Got to find a way to get a full performance in 90 minutes.
It did get a big win over Pittsburgh there at the end of June. On the other side, it was Miami last time out, taking down the Eastern Conference champs.
Needed to find a way at one point in time to make a statement win. That's exactly what happened for Miami FC. Tampa Bay Rowdies coming in, getting themselves back on track. Remember, everybody talked about their unbeaten streak. Not even unbeaten, winning game after game after game. They lose a couple of games. Rowdies get back on track. Miami FC says, nope, hold my adult water. I'm going to step right in, stick some in the back of the net. And this is a stretch right now, Josh, where when you look back at the season, these are the games, not that you want to win, that you have to win. I would make the argument that after they play today, they could go 7 games without picking up another point. That's how difficult their schedule is right now. They need 3 points today.
It's a tough Atlantic division, so can they get the job done on the road today, or will Loudoun hold serve at home? Lineups and first kick coming up next from Virginia.
Download the new Loudoun United app to stay up to date during the 2021 season. Receive team news, roster updates, ticket specials, contests, and more delivered directly to your device.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
If you were injured tomorrow, the ER may not be your best option. At Ortho Virginia, we can treat urgent orthopedic injuries without an appointment and diagnose non-urgent injuries virtually through video visits. Take the first step toward recovery, because stronger starts here.
Back here at Segra Field in Leesburg, Virginia. Today's match is presented by Segra. Loudoun United, Miami FC. It's time to look at today's starting lineups. They are brought to you by Loudoun Economic Development. We'll start with the home side for Ryan Martin.
One change for Ryan Martin. Pause is going to come into the left side of the midfield. And the interesting thing about this selection is really the back line. Matt DeRosa, the recent pickup coming out of the University of Maryland, drafted by Toronto FC, understands how to play in a 3 and how to play in a 4. So they can shift that back line, pump themselves into a wingback style system. Still, Nicky Downs, Ted Cuti-Pietro, and Massimo Ferrin, as good as they have been, they need to elongate that performance to give themselves an opportunity to get Manas Dioka going up top in that full 90, as we mentioned in the open. For Miami FC, acting head coach Andy Thompson makes 2 changes. Junior Palacio steps into the midfield. Cristiano Francois up top. Let's get this out of the way. This team can fly. Track meets, Olympic events, whatever you want to call it, the front 3 can flat out put pace on this back 4, back 3, whatever it's going to be. The question is going to be, can you keep these 3 units together? That's going to be the issue for Miami FC on the road, coming off a quality victory. Got to back it up again with another nice result.
And Paul Dalgleish missing another game here for Miami FC due to COVID safety protocols. So acting head coach today, Andy Thompson, as this game is underway. Today's referee is John Mato. Like the red on the blue today, Loudoun in red, Miami in all blue. Beautiful day here in Loudoun County, Virginia. And a big chance for Miami FC today to pick up 3 points here on the road. We'll get into this more as the game continues, but they are a team that is really missing quite a few players due to Gold Cup. The likes of Speedy Williams, Brian Silvestre, and Lamar Walker all missing for Miami FC as of late, but it hasn't really hurt them. They are unbeaten in their last 3 games and might be starting to just turn a little bit of a corner here.
Marty, get ready, come on. Cut the field, 9! Go! Bring it up! There you go! Marty, go!
Time on the ball here for Loudoun United. They're coming off a 2-0 defeat against Hartford Athletic. And here's a good chance now to get into the attack. All the way to the end line now, and Smith brings this back. Trying to look in field. Back into the corner. This one will trickle out of play. Throw in coming. And there is a look at Andy Thompson, the acting head coach today for Miami FC.
Throw in coming. In play.
A chance here now coming in the 18-yard box again for Loudoun, but they will recycle here and keep possession. Pause. Trying to turn the corner around Paco Craig. This over the head of Luba. Back centrally. Here comes the shot. Took a deflection. Sparrow just a slight fingertip on it. Now it's cleared away. Bright start in this opening 2 minutes for Loudoun. A lot has changed with this Miami FC side from their first year in the USL Championship last year into this year. But what do you think has really been the difference to turn the tides for this organization?
They've got a bunch of quality pickups in the offseason. Most importantly, they kept a core group of players. That's what you got to think about. And then a massive amount of turnover too. But the key group is what you want to keep here. And then you get guys at every single level to help out in this movement.
Here comes Loudoun again. Good challenge put in there by Callum Page. Right now, Miami just trying to get some time on the ball. Another attacking third throw-in coming for Loudoun. There's a look at Ryan Martin. Trying to turn this season around here for Loudoun United. As we talked about in the open, though, they've had their chances. They've been in so many one-goal margin games, just haven't been able to get anything out of those games, however.
Josh, the additions that they made in the offseason, you have to start no further than Connor Sparrow and what he's able to do. Watch the amount of bodies in front of him as this comes back across. He's got to account for so many different runners, and then the deflection, and still, even the ball coming off, to be honest with you, he's able to get down low to that right-hand side. That's why you go get him. Just 27 years of age, still a wily veteran back there.
Loudoun still on the attack as this comes wide again. Walls trying to keep this in. Instead it'll be Smith. Now back for Walls. Let's this roll out for a throw-in. And now it's just Miami trying to get a foothold in this game. One back in the middle, now played right down the middle. Montes de Oca. The shot was nowhere close to Sparrow in goal.
This is what Loudoun does, though. They put the pedal to the metal. They come out 100 miles an hour, pump a lot of chances. Right around the top of the box. Can the decision-making be better? Gave you a glimpse of what those expected goals are for this team coming into the match. That means nothing if you can't stick it into the back of the net. It is what has plagued them over the entire season so far. You want to get back in this, you got to start closing some of those chances out.
Floated down that left side. Something starting again here for Loudoun United. This will be a foul and a free kick. Coming down the left once more. Now here comes the ball in. It was just poked away. Othello Ba will try to retrieve this now for Miami.
Nice, nice.
Here's Ba. And now something coming forward for Miami. It's Adonijah Reed. But he was in an offside position. Just leaving a bit too early. And go back to Loudoun.
I would make the argument this ball's just got to be played sooner. You know, it seems simple enough, and the fact that it's the one touch, look up and hit it. Thought maybe you could have hit it first time. And the other side of that coin, Josh, is that got to make a better run here. There's no reason with all that daylight out in front of you. Use the speed to your advantage. Anyone on that front line, Ba, Reed, Francois, can all win a foot race when matched up against this back four. Take that half a hesitation, let the ball come through, and then chase it down.
I liked what Mike Jeffries told me a few weeks ago before their game against Miami. He said they'd win the 4x100 USL Championship meet. And that is how fast they can be. Heavy collision there in the middle. And now it'll be a free kick going the way of Miami FC. Shoulder to shoulder there. Palacios wins the free kick for Miami.
Well, that's an interesting decision. How's it not a foul the first time? I can't do this again today, Josh.
Here we go.
After the trouble I got myself in last night on some of the questionable calls.
Oh, boy. It's Pierre Da Silva who stands over it. Driving this in right down the middle, but scooped up by Jermaine Forda. Here's Smith cutting in field. Headed down in the middle. Falls for Othello Ba. Back out wide for Reed. Luba.
Come on, Loudoun!
Sparrow going long over the top. This might come off here for Miami as they look into the attack again through Francois. Now Akanyode gets this back out wide. Here comes the shot. It was blocked down right in the middle. Looked like Timmy Mel went right off his chest. Miami will keep it through Luba and reset here at midfield. Tonight's injury report is brought to you by Ortho Virginia, the official sports medicine partner of Loudoun United FC. A couple of players injured there. Luca Antonelli, Sion McFarland. He is on the bench today, McFarland.
Love to see him back in the 18. What an addition at outside back he would be. And think about the domino effect it could have as well. You get Sion McFarland back. It's great that Richie Ballard has been able to hold that, but then you can immediately add more depth to your options moving forward. Still have Ariel Martinez, where you got to manage his legs, at 35 years of age. The speed is still something that you have at your disposal off the bench. The problem is the depth at all areas of the field you do not.
Nice ball. Come on,
slowly but surely, injuries and international duty, they're getting back their entire squad. Watch out.
This will be a foul just outside the area. Akinyone thought he got that one clean, but this just inches outside that box. And a free kick for Loudoun United.
Watch the turn on the inside shoulder, and Akinyone just clipping the right knee as he cuts back across right there. There's not a lot of contact, but there's certainly enough for the referee.
I don't think that could be any closer to not being a penalty.
Well, these are the worst ones, too. And Josh, being a bit of a set-piece specialist as I was growing up and moving into the professional ranks, anything right at the top of the 18, it's one of the worst balls you can hit because to get it up and around is almost impossible. So a lot of times you'll see guys just go straight power. At the same point in time, the amount of players that you have in the wall in front of you, you have almost no window of opportunity, so you have to get some sort of bend on the ball. One of the most difficult strikes you can hit from a dead ball situation.
And you see Adonijah Reed standing, or pardon me, not standing, he is laying underneath the wall, trying to block that low ball. And it is Farron who will stand over this for Loudoun. Farron strikes, and yeah, just couldn't get it down quick enough. And out of play, chance gone.
A lot of teams will try and move this away from the wall to give yourselves a better angle. So you'll play a 2 or 3 man game, and yes, it's a direct free kick from about 20 yards out. But off center, little touch to the side, moves you out of the wall, gives you a better look at what Connor Sparrow is sitting at in front of the goal, and all the players that are around him. Get it to the side, give yourself a better opportunity moving forward.
Mark, it was not a yellow card.
A lot of them say it's so they can get better soccer careers, which could probably be true too. But they also
this will come centrally for Smith. And Walls has gotten into the attacking third quite a bit here in the opening 12 or so minutes. Played to the end line. Montos Dioka could not get there and out for a goal kick.
I think someone shortened the field. Can we extend it full length, please?
No yellow cards.
They shortened it, I think, by a yard. Yeah, I was looking at it when I sat in my seat for the other game, and I'm like, what? I used to be right down the 18-yard line.
Immediately given away off the goal kick.
And then, people I knew were saying,
Here's Downs.
they shortened it, like, before you could see it.
On the turn, this is a heavy foul coming in by Palacios. He's thinking that Smith just tripped over the ball there, but this is another set piece coming for Loudoun.
A young pro in Camardi Smith gets himself in a little bit of trouble. He's trying to pull a quick little turn on it, though it's a big body of Junior Palacios, who just oversteps the boundaries here. Understand that you can stand your ground. You've got help over the left shoulder in Janusz Luba. You don't need to create this mistake, which now has put your team in a bad spot. We saw the set piece just kind of cast aside seconds ago by Loudoun United. See if they can make a better decision in this situation. There's a lot of height on this back line for Miami FC. Difficult to challenge in the air.
It'll be Farron again. Good depth to this one. It is headed up in the air, still in there. Right for this loose ball. Couple players going down away from the ball. Miami just having a tough time clearing this ball. Eventually, Francois checks back and does. And now they can get out and run.
Get in front of him!
Here goes Francois motoring down this left side. Options in the middle. Francois just poked away, but he'll reset here on the left. It's taken away. Darnlew's pause. Gets this up ahead. Chance coming here. It's Farron. Now he sends it across. He might have just wanted to go himself.
Come on, Loudoun! Oh, that's a foul. There's your hands up for advantage. Go! Go, Gio!
Long over the top again. Francois playing chase. Dambrot able to head this back to Forta. You can see them trying to stretch the field here.
You got to give credit to both Robbie Dambrot and Timmy Meldo. You know, back-to-back sequences coming forward for Miami FC where the center backs have stood tall, held their ground. Love the one-on-one just seconds prior with Timmy Mel sliding over. Recognized that Cristiano Francois was always going to try and bring it back to his right foot.
Don't let him talk. Don't let him talk. Francois, inside! Inside!
On back in the middle. Palacios to Silva. Now out to the right side. Ballard. Ballard still going. Deflected cross, but this will go right into the arms of Jermaine Forta.
That's well done by Paws. Pocket picked. And just watch. This is good defending by Chapman Page. Notice a little hesitation there. Doesn't want the ball in behind him. If he flat out sprints this down, this is going to get cut behind him. If he slows up too much, you can whip it around. Monastioka finding the back post run. Perfect defending in a 2v1 where the numbers are stacked against you and you come out on top.
Luba, early ball in. Adonai Jarry trying to go around the goalkeeper, and then Bob puts this out. That was a great early ball in from Luba. Just Miami could not find the finish.
Watch the vision by Akinyoti coming out of the middle, though. Lovely breaking line pass to Othello Ba, and then first time in by Janusz Luba. Why aren't you hitting this thing? And then how are you not hitting the frame? This has been the story on the other side of things for Miami FC. It cannot be any simpler at this. At least put it on the 8x8 and give yourself a chance.
We talked about the expected goals for Loudoun. On the other side for Miami, 15 goals scored this year. That's about middle of the league, but they're top 10 in shots. So similar issues there for Miami. Once they get around that 18-yard box, they have not been clinical enough.
Well, I mentioned to you how 6 out of the top 10 aren't even above the playoff line. Loudoun's in there, OKC, 901 FC, San Antonio, Red Bull 2. I mean, the list goes on and on. Charleston Battery. And those teams create a lot. But it is a telling number, right? The fact that it doesn't matter how much you create. What are you doing with it? Just be more efficient. You want to hit the frame 20 times and only stick one into the back of the net? Or do you want to have 5 quality looks and you bury 2? I'll take the latter every single time.
Here's Ballard. Wall's able to clear this away. Oh, and a heavy challenge coming in. Farron is pushed in the back. The referee will now bring this one back. And it'll be a yellow card issued as well.
You can still play advantage, though.
It was definitely 30.
Was it for the first challenge or the second challenge?
First, of course.
So Akinyoti.
It may sound like dress,
There you go.
Pause.
Help him out, Loudoun. Pick it up.
Mel moves it along. It's Walls. The opening stages of this game was all Loudoun going forward. Miami is settled in just a bit here, and they've been able to find a few chances. Could argue that both teams should have scored already.
Wonder what it's like for Matt DeRosa and Timmy Mel on that back line together. The Maryland, Indiana boys.
They played some good games against each other.
That 2018 national title game was awesome to watch.
Too bad Indiana wasn't in it, though.
No, I'm just saying the College Cup. The College Cup, yeah, sorry. You bring the Akron boys into that conversation.
You can.
On you go, Chris! Good here. Cut the fuse out. Stay inside, Bar. Stay inside, now you go.
Paz going to turn in field. Akinioti on that yellow card does have to be careful, but got that one right. Francois, early ball through. Reed was just cut off, and Forda comes in to scoop it up.
Line of three! Line of three! Good, Pierre. Don't let him turn, Pierre.
Come on, Loudoun!
Bah, you gotta help.
Let's go!
Do you feel like that's the most dangerous way Miami can play, with just that quick ball through the middle, try to utilize that speed?
Right now, absolutely. Given the amount of room you have to work with, Loudoun more than willing to play a bit more of an advanced line. I wouldn't call it high, Josh, but they're definitely not sitting deep, right? You know, that unit is coming together. I mentioned to you, what would it look like for Miami FC? Could the 4 go with the 3 and then the 3 up top? They don't have to worry about it when you play that direct. Great distribution coming out of the likes of Bolu Akinioti. Paco Craig, Chapman Page can play that ball as well. You know, the diagonal too. The wings are going to be open. But if you're sitting and you've just absorbed pressure and you pick your head up, all day long, they're happy to spray that 40, 50-yard ball up over the top and let one of the front 3 run onto it.
Another ball trying to slip through. Luba there to cover it. Let's go back to that chance from Miami a few moments ago. Just right down the middle, Francois trying to find Reed.
It's a good challenge, by the way, coming through on Timmy Mel. There's another one-on-one for the center back. Decent size height, approaching 6'2", and the recognition that, no, he's not going to be able to win every single stride when you're matched up against the pace of Reed, Francois, or Bob. You have to mention all 3 because they are so fast, but that's an angles game as a center back, Josh. You just have to understand that as this ball comes through, what's the best angle you can take to track down the play? Not the player, it's the play itself. You got to close space and make sure that you're removing the options by the attacker coming up.
So you're saying center backs are pretty good at their geometry?
You have to be. Mathematics, no. Geometry, yes.
Just the shapes
That's
and
right.
the angles.
Well, if you ever watch, think about on the international stage, arguably one of the best center backs in the world, and you know I'm going to say it because I'm a Liverpool fan, Virgil van Dijk.
He is, you're not wrong.
He's not exactly a speedster.
No.
He's got long legs and he's got good speed, but he reads the game really well. And more importantly, when you have guys like Timmy Mel, and now I'll make that analogy, the frame, the physicality that can be for a player, just match up right up against him. If you've got a speedy guy and you know the balls are coming through, you do one of 2 things. You play the angles game and you shut it down, or you put a body on him early.
Luba looking into the attack again. Lays this off for Reed. Fresh off a goal against Tampa Bay last time out. Francois curls this in. Reed at the back post, saved by Forda. Corner kick coming for Miami FC.
It's easy to look at a team like Loudoun and see how many goals that they've given up and wonder what the goalkeeper is like back there. But Jermaine Forda shouldn't have to answer any of those questions, and this is why. He's quality. Hung out to dry a bunch of times this season, but when called upon in a manageable spot, he's more than capable of stepping up in and helping out.
Here's De Silva, curling this in. And the defensive header. Right back out for De Silva, who has a second chance to the back post. The player ended up in the goal. The ball still in play. Reed again. Paco Craig heads it down just off the fingertips of Forda. Another corner kick coming.
More pressure coming by Miami FC. Callan Chapman-Page had a wondrous header last time out. Can't close it out on the backside, and then well worked back in. I love the fact you're not trying to pick out a single player. There's so many bodies, there's no need to. Just throw it in, let someone go up and win it for you. And the little deflection by Jermaine Forda goes a bit unnoticed.
It's De Silva again. Good shape on this ball coming in. Took a deflection which put it back into the middle. Akinyode, Reed, Akinyode scores! Just bouncing around. Akinyode, look what I found. 1-0 Miami.
He doesn't score many, I can tell you that much. Akinyode, reliable if you will. The Nigerian, drop him onto the back line, move him into the 8, let him sit in the 6, he'll do whatever you need. But that big frame still exists within the box. And look at the space he occupies. He doesn't step in. Too many bodies as this thing starts to bounce around.
Don't call him back on.
The 4th time in his professional career able to tickle the nylon. What a ball stuck into the back of the net.
His first goal since 2019 with Nashville. Hasn't scored more than 1 goal in a season in his career. He gets his first in Miami FC colors. It's 1-0 Miami. Just a failure to clear. And that's what we saw from Miami defensively early on. Could not clear the ball in those first minutes. And now it is flipped and it's 1-0 Miami.
And there's also something that comes with a quality win, Josh, that does something to the overall mentality of a team. And it's not just because they were able to get 3 points against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. They were good. They played well. They had a game plan. They stuck to it the entire time.
Paz puts this on frame. Great drive from Paz, but Sparrow there to make the save.
This is not part of the game plan, though. You cannot allow this twisting and turning just outside the top of the 18 and give him this much space. Akinyode, the goal scorer on one side, almost gives up one here. Dives in twice. The first one was actually worse, that allowed this to open up. But what ends up happening is, even if you don't get the result, which is what happened to Miami the first time they played the Rowdies this season, the 2-1 victory for Tampa Bay at Al Lang. Miami played great.
Yeah,
honestly, they played really well in that match.
And Paul Dalglish liked that performance.
And they just came up on the short end of the stick, and that's okay. You keep your head up, you get some players back. Now you play well again. They saw a lot less of the ball, but they were physical. They still had their chances. A little bit lucky here in the opening 25-30 minutes of this match so far for the fact that Loudoun hasn't been able to put one in the back of the net. But you come off a quality victory. There's a belief that, okay, things are starting to turn right for us. You just can't let that become complacent.
And Paul Dalglish said coming out of that game, he said results can be vague. You can play a great game, you can lose and concede 2 unfortunate goals, but he said you take confidence from a game like that. And so far this season, it's been a mixed bag. 5-5-2 for Miami coming in. That has them right in 4th place, but a chance now, and as things stand, they'll be moving up one more spot in the 3rd. As we'll talk about coming up at halftime, Hartford's only played 9 games. What is Hartford Athletics? Still a lot left to play. And this will be a yellow card, a tactical foul, free kick Miami.
You're not going to get away with this one, I can tell you that much. I've tried, trust me. Doesn't work. Kuda Pietro understands there's just only so much space that they can concede in the midfield. And you certainly want to do it in that opening transitional moments for Miami FC that have been so good here in the half-hour mark.
Akinyode just trying to drop this in behind. Too far for Othello Ba.
Keep it up. Good idea. Put it down on the goal line.
I think when they did the report after the game, let's have this other guy have a yellow stat. This is the official cooling break that the temperature on the field.
First half hydration break, warm day here in Loudoun County. Bolu Akinyode, so far, his goal is the difference just a few moments ago. Just a failure to clear a corner kick. Let's go back and look at that goal.
Number 30, Miami FC just sitting on the penalty mark. Doesn't crowd the space. That's a high IQ, Josh. Recognize that you can have an overload of bodies and it can benefit you. This wasn't one of those situations. There's just too many players for either team just in front of the goal. Step back, let the space come to you. It's like little kids when they're 6 years old, everybody chasing like bumblebees going after the ball. There's no reason. Stay on the outside. The play will make its way to you. And can you take advantage of the opportunity when it does? No matter where it's at on the field, yet alone for Bolu Akinyode. 8 yards out for him to grab his 4th goal in his career.
You try telling those 6-year-olds they're not supposed to chase the ball the whole game.
No, I didn't chase.
So is there a way back here for Loudoun? We talked about their expected goals versus their actual goals they've scored this year in the pregame. And just past the half-hour mark, 1-0 to Miami FC here on this Sunday evening. It was a good start, to be fair, for Loudoun, but Miami has settled in quite nicely.
Notice the fact defensively that they have basically shut down Kimarni Smith. You take a look at the touches between the two players. Dorluis Paz and Kimarni Smith, almost identical, sitting at 12 and 13 touches. Not passes, touches overall. Paz, very active. A lot of movement, see him cutting inside, attacking the space in front of him. Kimarni Smith isolated a lot where all he can really do is step on it, knock this ball back across. And that's the defensive shape that you get out of veterans like Paco Craig and Chapman Page on the back line, who will just usher this thing left and right. You know, one of the things that you could make the argument for is because of the injuries, Josh, and international duties, is they haven't really had everybody together the entire time. You know, we've seen Luca Antonelli on the back line, Callan Chapman Page playing at the right back spot. And when you rotate players like that, the guys around them don't necessarily have the same understanding of the space and their responsibilities. But once you get that regular tandem, and in this situation, Chapman Page and Paco Craig, they're doing a really good job of just keeping everybody in front of them. And watch the shape. Perfect alignment on the back line, good shift over by the midfield 3. And then we've seen great distribution coming off the back line up top.
Let's go, come up the top rope on him.
Emma's going to come to you at halftime to clarify the photographer situation.
Here comes Loudoun. Downs.
Go, just told you to foul him.
Go, Loudoun, let's use it.
Good turn upfield. Trying to get the cross in. Challenge coming in. Penalty. Palacios got that all wrong. And a chance now for Loudoun to equalize from the spot.
This is really close for me. It's the challenge itself. Is this actually inside the box is what I want to know. Junior Palacios trying to back act here. He does make contact, but look at where it is. It's a difficult angle. Watch where the challenge occurs. That's really close. It's a foul no matter what. Get that out of the way. It's 100% contact, but is it inside the top of the 18?
Well, John Motto said yes, and now a chance to equalize from the spot. Darluis Paz off the crossbar. He was looking for that top left corner, and he's in disbelief on the turf.
Come on, it didn't hit you.
Why does he go to ground right away here? This is a heck of a penalty. It's just a little bit off. Got to get up right away. Goalkeeper beaten. Trying to pick out that upper corner. Gets a bit underneath it.
Like the idea of going top corner. Goalkeeper wasn't going to save it. Another one of those opportunities that has gone awry. And there's Smith. Kamarni Smith, early ball in, took a deflection, still in there. And saved by Sparrow Montes de Oca. The whole goal was there for the taking.
Another great job by Connor Sparrow. We saw the deflection in the opening 5 minutes where he had to judge that. Watch this one. Space, expect the touch to come. It doesn't. And immediately jumps back up, retreats over to the right shoulder, and closes this space down. Could have been an easy one for Montes de Oca if not for Connor Sparrow.
Farron will swing this in now for Loudoun. Right at Sparrow, he punches this away.
Yours, Loudoun.
I have to say, a pretty decent response from Loudoun since conceding. Montes de Oca goes down. Othello Baugh, the foul, free kick Loudoun.
When does a yellow card come out for them?
This one's very different than the one inside 10 minutes, Josh, that was right at the top of the 18. You know, the unnecessary fouls that have been given up by Miami FC so far. In really unconventional spots as well. You know, defensively, they've had good shape. We saw the one by Junior Palacios on the near line where Kamarni Smith tried to have that quick little turn. There's no reason. The defensive structure's there. You know, they've set themselves up to succeed. Just a bit overstepping.
Go on, Loudoun.
Three-man wall for Miami. Smith will run away. Farron will clip this in.
And again.
Couldn't find a red jersey. Reed does well to keep this in play for Miami. And now a chance to stretch their legs. Coming through the middle, De Silva. Big challenge coming in by DeRosa. The new signing, Matt DeRosa. And now he goes down. This will be a free kick. And yes, sir, that is a yellow.
Great comeback, buddy. See the exit after that one.
It's Devin Kerr's Traveling Peanut Gallery.
Oh my goodness, no, it's the same group from last week. they're interesting. Another foul for sure. Pierre De Silva. Not a fun one either. To be fair, the team itself starting to rack up all those numbers in the referee's brain, yet alone the fact that it is a rough challenge for Pierre De Silva on the backside.
Come on, Loudoun.
Paz. Trying to look towards goal. Keeps his footing. Deflected shot. This should be a corner, and it is.
All right, let's take this, Loudoun. Fill up the box for Pete's sake.
So Farron will find a new ball and put this back in play. Nearing halftime. This corner kick brought to you by Loudoun Economic Development, a team that's always in your corner. Be an outswinger here from Farron. You can see the corner flag really whipping there. Here comes the ball. All the way through. Nobody got a touch to it. DeRosa will track this down and keep it in for Loudoun. Cross block down. Now Adonijah Reed. Trying to play it down the line. Well done just to knock that away. A player down here for Miami. And the referee will stop play. It's Adonijah Reed.
Hurt that bad. Shut up, keeper!
And there's a little late pressure coming all the way back through as this ball gets knocked back over top.
Get back to the box.
The ability to distribute 20, 25 yards pushing back through. It's difficult on the far side. Just watch just underneath the tee as he turns and spins. Watch the pressure coming from behind there. Just runs into the back of him. It is a foul.
What?
Inadvertent for sure. Doesn't mean it didn't happen for Adonijah Reed. Trying to drop down in. Quick little spin off.
Where's the VR on that one? I didn't see it.
So Owen Walls into the book. He gets the yellow card for that infraction.
Miami, there's no foul there.
Right there. Ref, he's got to come on. Yellow card after 3 minutes, you can stay on the pitch. The yellow card, that's why. The yellow card, you can stay on the pitch.
So after the yellow card, play will restart with the Miami free kick. Final few minutes before halftime. Here's Ballard. Francois. Here's Francois again, charging at this back line. Ballard tried to leave it for him on the turn. Fight for this loose ball. And Farron will run away with it for Loudoun. Options up ahead. Dribbling through, and Ballard there to track back and win it back. Luba now coming into the attack. Janos Luba still going. Was just clipped away from him. Now Ba, De Silva. Miami will slow things down. He was tripped up. The referee will bring this back for the initial foul. It'll be a free kick to Miami. Here's De Silva now. Chance for Miami to double its advantage. Didn't get it by the first man. Might be a chance here for Loudoun to counter. Montes Tionka loses out. Francois puts this in. Forta pushes it away. Diving header was coming in by Chapman Page. And this out for another corner kick for Miami FC.
Both goalkeepers being tested at the highest level here today, Josh. The ball's being whipped in. Think about the ones that he's had to handle so far, Jermaine Forta, and everything with bodies around him. Saves down to the corner, the touches up over top of the bar. Set piece opportunities.
It'll be Pierre da Silva to whip this in for Miami. Towards the penalty spot, this clipped along. Goalkeeper went the wrong way, it was blocked in front. And now De Rosa just trying to relieve some pressure for a moment. Francois, good move to find the space down the right. His cross comes in. Ba heads this back in. Akinione goes down. He points for a goal kick. Miami players crowding the referee.
There's a little touch back across his body on the pressure coming to him right at the top of the 18. Owen Walls steps into him. And the movement towards him looks like he connects. But from the initial angle, it's really hard to tell as this spins back around. Again, it's another angle that's hard for us to see, right, Josh? You can see where the motion's coming from. I just can't see him actually connect. I'm not saying that he doesn't. Just from our viewpoint, it's hard to pick up.
I'd say that'd be a harsh penalty.
It could be a harsh foul.
Yeah.
Yet alone a penalty. Again, the turn over the left shoulder. Is there a follow-through? There's a little nick on the left foot.
I don't know.
That's a hard one for me. I have a real rough time even calling a foul, yet alone a penalty.
We're into 3 minutes of stoppage time. Referee holding play up just for a moment. It'll just be a drop ball and they'll get play back underway. Miami's goal from that man right there, Bolu Akinione, finding a loose ball in the box off a corner kick. That is the difference thus far. Chances have been there, though, for Loudoun. Most notably, the penalty that goes off the crossbar by Darluis Paz. Here they come again. Back to the end line. It's out for a corner kick. It'll be Farron again. Here's Farron. In towards Sparrow, who punches this away. Downs drives this in. Sparrow, straightforward catch for the Miami netminder. Final minute of the minimum of 3 in this first half. There's been a little bit of everything in this first half.
That's being kind. I mean, it's all over, right? I mean, the game was stretched nice and thin. You started Miami FC starting to play direct. Loudoun United started to sit back on that line a little bit, gave them respect for the speed. They've started to counterpunch after going down a goal, provided themselves a couple of opportunities from a bunch of different areas.
Here they go again. Darluis Paz still on the ball, cutting back in field, trying to curl this towards goal. Took a deflection just wide. Corner kick Loudoun.
Great skill set here. Little cutback across. I don't think I've ever seen this many deflections, by the way, in one half that have challenged goalkeepers that could have easily ended up in the back of the net.
This could be the last action of this first half. The referee just making sure everybody is in order in that 18-yard box. Here it comes, back post. Paco Craig to head it away. And now Sparrow pushes this out. Another corner kick coming.
Miami FC just trying to get to halftime right now. The amount of pressure they've sustained, some of the decision-making on the backside, giving them too many looks.
Head of the way, top of the box, the shot well out of play. And that will bring to end Quite a first 45 minutes. Miami's goal is the difference thus far. Bolu Akinyode. Tonight's halftime is brought to you by Segra. A lot to make of that first half.
Remember, Pause misses his penalty in the 35th minute as well. But Josh, right now, Miami FC, they've got their lead. That's the most important thing. Regroup, understand where your key points are. Loudoun United, Ryan Martin, let's turn the heat up a little bit. Let's go after it in the second half.
Stay tuned for halftime. It'll take you around the Atlantic Division. 1-0 to Miami.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
In the heart of DC's wine country lies a retreat and conference center like no other, where award-winning chefs create signature dishes using local farms, where the wine is poured just miles from the vines and the beer is brewed right next door, where challenge courses invigorate and meeting rooms inspire, where the welcome starts at check-in and continues throughout your stay. Like Loudoun United, the National Conference Center builds world-class teams in the place we all call home. Saddle up.
Take to be a champ. You know ball's life, you should come and join the camp. Title after title, put my rivals off the map. Thought you had the trophy till I came in for the snatch. I was born in it, not sworn in it. I ain't come to play my wrist, mean all business. Running like a mimic, check my jersey, all authentic. In Oakland with some Raiders, till my haters deal with it. I'm in the field with it. Stop playing.
Welcome back to halftime. Some Sunday afternoon USL Championship action. Loudoun United and Miami FC. Halftime is presented by Segra. Well, let's take a look at those Atlantic Division standings. We're in the Atlantic Division this afternoon. Right now, Charleston down in 7th spot. They're a team that does not miss the playoffs, but right now Miami sitting in that 4th spot, just holding on to the final playoff spot.
The only team, by the way, the Charleston Battery, to make the USL Championship playoffs in the modern era every single year. Nobody else has done it. Charlotte Independence, weird for me. They're up, they're down, they beat the Rowdies. They destroy Phoenix in terms of overall play, but they only get a draw out of it, and then they lose to Red Bull 2. Miami FC starting to find some form. Loudoun, we know that they can do battle. What is Hartford Athletic, Josh? I can't figure them out. Harry Watling seems like he's a good coach. They've only played 9 games. At this point in time, I don't think they know what they are. I have a hard time seeing them as a playoff team, but at the same point in time, who behind them is going to knock them off? Can't figure it out. Crazy division.
And nearly 2 points per game right now for Hartford. Still a lot of games left to go for them. A look at the scoreboard, and I think that Lou City score jumps off the screen.
Has to be, and it's the exact opposite of what we saw just, 3 weeks ago when they played each other. Louisville up 3-0, come back and just got it to 3-2. Same thing here. You're talking to Mike Watts about the game. I haven't seen it yet. Mike said they got run off the field for the better portion of 60 minutes. I don't think I've ever heard a single pundit, play-by-play, analyst, whatever you want to call it, ever say that about a Lou City team. Good character to come back into a match. And a good win for FC Tulsa. We talked about the Phoenix-Charlotte game. Magical win for 901 FC. That's a win right there that can get you back on track. That's another team in the Coastal Division you can kind of look at and go, maybe they come back in, maybe they can make a run, get into the playoffs. Who knows?
I'll give a lot of credit to Red Bull, too. The last time they went to Hartford, it was 7-0. They come back at a hard-earned draw.
They were up 2-0. They should have won that game.
I know, but still, get the result, get out of there.
Right.
Second half coming up here from Segra Field, Loudoun United, Miami FC. It's on the way.
Hey everyone, this is Oscar Jimenez from Louisville City FC.
Hi, my name is Carl Howarth. I currently play for the Indy 11.
What's up everybody? It's Connor Sparrow with the Miami FC.
Josue Soto checking in here. Austin Bold FC. Hello guys, this is Luis Herrera from El Paso Locomotive. Just wanted to share with you guys my favorite soccer moment, and that will be the day I made my professional debut for El Paso, which is my hometown.
Anderson swings it in. Barry making the run, gets a deflection. He puts it in. Colorado Springs has its lead. And the save from Cardoni. It's there, and Cardoni with a huge save. Beautiful ball through, and that's in. Brilliant.
In the heart of DC's wine country lies a retreat and conference center like no other, where award-winning chefs create signature dishes using local farms, where the wine is poured just miles from the vines and the beer is brewed right next door, where challenge courses invigorate and meeting rooms inspire, where the welcome starts at check-in and continues throughout your stay. Like Loudoun United, the National Conference Center builds world-class teams in the place we all call home. Saddle up.
If you were injured tomorrow, the ER may not be your best option. At Ortho Virginia, we can treat urgent orthopedic injuries without an appointment and diagnose non-urgent injuries virtually through video visits. Take the first step toward recovery, because stronger starts here.
Download the new Loudoun United app to stay up to date during the 2021 season. Receive team news, roster updates, ticket specials, contests, and more delivered directly to your device.
Welcome back to halftime. Loudoun United, Miami FC, some Sunday afternoon USL Championship action. It's been a busy time around the USL Championship. Let's look at some news and notes from around the league. And plenty of Gold Cup participants from 14 USL Championship and League One sides. And that Gold Cup just getting underway last night. I'll give you something here. Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
I was doing the game last night. It's like half the roster from the USL Championship.
That's a performance, by the way. And as abysmal as they looked in qualifying, how good did they look now?
Incredible.
That's a magical result. And you know what? Let's get this out of the way. I have a new running partner this weekend. And his name, coming from the West, is Josh Eastern. Mike Watts taking a sabbatical for the weekend. Josh, you excited to join me on Saturday?
I can't wait. I'm gonna try to match you style-wise. I don't think I'll win that battle.
It's a tough ask. Just don't forget the donuts. Don't forget the donuts.
All right, I'll bring the donuts. That's fine with me. There was some big news, though, around the USL Championship this week. Thomas Van Kizeel going back to the Eastern Conference.
This is a massive pickup for Birmingham Legion and for a team that is really struggling in two locations. Depth at the center back spot and help in the number 6. You just got all of that and more with one transaction with Van Kizeel leaving San Diego. So they pick up an undisclosed fee in terms of cash and compensation. Interesting that he signs a multi-year contract for the Birmingham Legion before he's even played a game. That's a little bit of a cash dump on the roster side for me. If I take a look at things, their salary, trying to move money around. Remember, last year, USL All-First team from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Second team the year before. A lot of people thought he should have gone back-to-back on the first team. I thought he could have been Defender of the Year last year under Bob Lilly.
And we thought that was a huge pickup for San Diego. It was, just didn't quite work out. But what is to come this week? Much more action. One more game tonight, Los Dos Tacoma. That New Mexico-Charleston match. That intrigues me. It's a little Monday Night Football.
I like that one. The interdivision, interconference, East meets West. Joked. You want yellow or you want black? What color do you want?
Black.
I'll take yellow. They're the same for both teams. It's the same. It's the same. I'm also interested in that San Diego Orange County game, by the way. You know, both those teams on some quality unbeaten streaks. Would say that San Diego's quality has been better overall, more wins to their name. But Orange County, they're just slowly moving their way up the ranks. Even though Phoenix Rising is getting results, they're not doing it in impressive fashion. Orange County is. And they're not necessarily turning heads. It's a little bit quiet. That team's right there on the heels of Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, they are sneaking up on Phoenix Rising. Second half is on the way from Segra Field.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
chose me. I could run 100 yards, I could throw it deep. I ain't choose the game, game chose me. I got what it take to be a champ. You know bars life, you should come and join the camp. Title after title, put my rivals off the map. Thought you had the trophy till I came in for the snatch. I was born in it, not sworn in it. I ain't come to play my wrist, mean all business. Running like a mimic, check my jersey, all authentic. In Oakland with some Raiders, till my haters deal with it. I'm in the field with it. Stop playing.
Halftime is presented by Segra, building up to the second 45 minutes. It's Loudoun 0, Miami FC 1. It's time for our first half highlights. They're brought to you by Segra. Plenty of chances. They came right from the get-go, especially for Loudoun. Second minute, they were really on the front foot.
There wasn't really a balance for this team last time out, and there wasn't for the probably opening 25 or 30 minutes here, but you did get movements out of Darlois Paz on the outside and Giovanni Monastiocco. I like the spacing between the two of them. I loved what I saw out of Massimo Ferran last time out. Would like more combination play, but you still tested Cano Sparrow early. And then what was it going to look like going the other direction? Everything was direct, and I'm here for it. Watch this ball slipped in by Akinyoti. Finds the overlapping run by Lube on the outside. This is perfection on the training ground, translating to a beautiful buildup against Loudoun United. Just can't finish it off by Reed up top.
And then 24th minute. Another chance coming forward for Miami, but Forda has played a big game.
Great saves on both ends. And whether it was from a deflection, on the half bounce, moving in transition, really liked what I saw out of both goalkeepers, this time for Jermaine Forda. He was called to arms a bunch of times, but here's the goal. And I can't stress enough Akinyoti and what he does, because he doesn't cram the box. The entire sequence, he could have stepped in, he doesn't, he sits back, he allows the play to progress in front of him. Josh, this could have really easily ended in a shot that goes wide, and he never gets near it. Instead, the ball gets touched back to him. He's got plenty of space to step in, buries it in the bottom corner. They get their 1-0 lead in the 26th minute, but not to be denied, Loudoun United. They would continue to come back in. A lot of these from distance, their chances. A couple from the inside of the box, but a lot from about 18, 20 yards out. Controversy here. I still can't tell you. We've looked at multiple angles, at multiple speeds. I can't figure out if this is in the box. Neither could you. Referee points to the spot, off the bar. This is a pretty well-struck penalty. It's just a bit underneath the ball. Pause off the upper corner, off the woodwork. Sparrow with a side of relief, and then you started to see Camardi Smith start to go in transition. This is what he was best at under Mike Noonan and Clemson. Ball out in front of him, space, the ability to break down defenses and make decisions on his own, not necessarily having a lot of pressure on him. That's where he's at his best. That provided more opportunities. Still couldn't hit the back of the net.
And another big save from Connor Sparrow. Look at our first half stats presented by Segra. Shots are pretty even. Possession way in favor of Loudoun. That might be a bit of a surprise.
What is it again, though? It's the conversion rate. Loudoun United going down a slippery slope once again. If they can't put the ball in the back of the net, they're going to have a major problem. This team has built with the best of them. They can defend with the best of them. If they could combine it all, pick a goal off here and there, you're looking at a team that's above the playoff line. Unfortunately, that's why they're at the bottom of the barrel looking up right now.
2-8 on 6 points. When we get set to start this second half with Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern. 45 more minutes here in this Atlantic Division battle. Miami trying to hold on to that 4th spot right now, and as things stand with the 1-goal advantage, they'd be moving up into 3rd over Hartford Athletic. Still one more game to go tonight in the USL Championship, and then one more tomorrow, Monday Night Football from New Mexico. But here, we have 45 more minutes. We'll see if Loudoun can find a goal in this one, or will it be Miami heading back to South Florida with 3 points. And there will be a sub coming on to start this second half. Is Deshaun Anglin. The young Jamaican comes on. False start, and we'll have to restart things here. And now we go. 45 more minutes. Miami now attacking left to right. Here's Francois. Now England. Plays this out wide to that left side. Luba slipping this in. Chance coming. Big save, Forda. A kick save, and now it might be a chance for Loudoun to counterattack. Here they come with Farron. Playing this down the right side. It's Smith. Early ball coming in behind Chapman Page and then cleared away. End-to-end stuff here in the first 45 seconds. Here's Paz. Sending this in. Good shape on that ball. It bounces through, though, for Sparrow. So Adonijah Reed, the one to come off for Miami. That sub is presented by Segra. Here's Francois sending this in. Might have taken a deflection. Bado will track this down on the far side. Downs keeps this moving. Darlewis Paz. Nicky Downs. Back for Paz. Farron finding space on this left side. Farron sends this in again. Montes de Oca. And now DeRosa puts this in towards the top of the 6. And now cleared away, but only as far as Downs. Loudoun keeping some pressure on early, much like the start of that first half. This will be a foul and a free kick going the way of Loudoun. Cudi Pietro going down, and he stays down here for a moment.
You really want to keep an eye on the shape for both of these teams over the next 5-10 minutes, Josh. Wish the addition of Jashawn England into the equation here. Adonijah Reed comes off. You lose pace, of course, but you still carry the tactful ability of Pierre da Silva, who can play as a false nine. He'll drop down underneath, can spearhead what will look like a diamond at times in the midfield. And you want to see, is that going to still be a double pivot? Is it going to be a single? That'll change at times. But the 4 in England, Palacio, Akinyoti, and Da Silva. And he'll still operate with the luxury to step up. You saw that just a couple minutes in.
Ball sent in. Big save, Sparrow. Just puts his foot out and makes the save. What an opportunity there. It looked like it was Dambrot. Now this goes out of play. Throw and going to Loudoun. Let's go back and look at it.
Too many set piece situations in the first half for this to be the best one of the bunch. And it's good by Loudoun United. Much closer in proximity the first time around, but put on an absolute platter here by Robbie Dambrot. Once again, the goalkeepers have been magnificent in this match.
Francois. He'll cycle it over to the left side. Anoj Luba. Plays this up ahead, runners in the middle. Mel will keep this alive and clear it away. There's a look at Andy Thompson, who is the acting head coach today for Miami FC. Timmy Mel is down on the turf here for Loudoun, wearing the captain's armband. He's made 10 starts this year, and that's every game so far for Loudoun. It's been a big part of that back line.
Think about the journey that we've seen for both of these squads so far. You start with the road team in Miami, where you have great offseason additions. I talked about Connor Sparrow already, Parker Craig, of course. You bring in guys like Bolu Akinyode, Speedy Williams, who for my money was, in terms of overall play, the best midfielder in 2020. I'm not saying he's the best overall in terms of prospects, but the way that he was able to play, he was magnificent. And of course, you had quality up top. Ramon Martin Del Campo comes in, he retires. You get injuries to guys like Sion McFarlane, guys that haven't played a full 90 in quite some time. International duty, of course, Paul Dalglish now on the sideline. And so you've got a coach acting as the head coach right now, Andy Thompson, and still finding a way to get results now. And for Loudoun United, Ryan Martin, guys in and out, youngsters, signing homegrown contracts, which is a great thing, of course. And this is going to be a cause for concern as another one, an injury. And the fact that Timmy Mel conceding the captain's armband, he's been great all match long, but obviously not up to it after this knock that he just took. That's the growth process that teams experience throughout the course of a season, yet alone within the opening 8-10 matches.
It's a short bench today for Loudoun United, but it looks like they'll make 2 subs here. It's Diego Gomez who will come on. That'll be the sub to replace Timmy Mel. Tyler Gabara also will come on. He'll replace Montez Dioka.
Still haven't seen the best out of Gio Montes Dioka in the Loudoun United jersey. To be fair, it's only 2 games in. It's a wondrous talent from University of North Carolina. With the understanding that, you know, the shortened season in 2020 of sorts, 2019 missed the entire season due to injury. 18 was, of course, his breakout year, and drafted 79th overall by FC Dallas. Doesn't sign for a striker. Got to find some confidence. You go through camp, you come out of camp, you're without a team. It's not going to happen right away. It'll take time.
Two players coming on now with limited experience this year. Gomez just his 3rd appearance. Gabara just his 4th. Play down the line. Smith trying to chase this down, and will. Cutting back in field. Now putting the brakes on. Finds Downs. DeRosa. Cutting back in field. DeRosa. It was blocked down. Looked like something opened up there. Just could not curl that towards goal.
He also looked like he got a bit of the pitch just behind it. The way that he hit the ball. Just stuck up a little on him. Still a defender in front of him for sure. Little shape change up top for Loudoun United. Think about the amount of pace that they have at their disposal with Massimo Ferrin, Thorley's Pause, and Kimarni Smith. And with the little tweak here, bringing Giovanni Montes Dioka off. It almost looks like they pushed 2 up top, but they're still maintaining a real high presence on that far side. That's where Smith was, but he's come much more into the interior.
Blue jerseys converging. Miami just trying to clear this away. Paco Craig finds space out there on the left. Cycle it over to that right side. Here comes the cross. Sparrow will just let this bounce out of play. Go back to that last chance for DeRosa. The new signings for this Loudoun side.
It's great work. Watch the little cut back inside right here. Palacios gets his feet caught up inside of him a little bit, and he does. Little turf monster. 9-iron. You got to drive through that. It's a fairway wood for you.
Oh. Okay.
We'll get out together.
We will at some point.
By the time season's over, you've flown back home, then we'll be ready.
Oh, okay, okay. This will be another whistle and a free kick going the way of Miami. Wall's just a bit too eager on the far side. So those 2 subs made by Ryan Martin already in this first 10 minutes. Only 2 more field players available on the bench today for Loudoun United. Ballard cuts infield. He's fouled. Now this will be a corner kick coming for Miami FC. They put it back in play quickly. De Silva striding over to that corner flag.
He's got to be top 3 from dead ball situations in the league for me. His left foot, I mean, he can put it on a dime anywhere, man.
He swings this in towards the penalty spot. Palacios rising up. Good first touch, and now here comes Loudoun into space. Smith. It was just swept away at the last moment. Luba. And out for a throw-in. One of the few holdovers from last year in Janos Luba. Fits in nicely on that left side of this Miami formation. There's a giveaway in the midfield, and De Silva. Akinyote will slow things down.
This is where you got to be careful of if you're Miami FC. A bit more possession base here with Anglin, Palacios, and Akinyote on the inside. And so as Othello does start to drop it and does a great job defensively to pick this ball off, where's the presence come from on that front line? Because we know De Silva's going to come into the pocket too. Still waiting for the cheat-up, Cristiano Francois, to really showcase himself at the level we've seen in years past. Of course, 2020 with Reno wasn't a bad year. His breakout season of sorts with Ottawa back in 19 under Nikola Popovic.
DeRosa coming forward. He went down. Referee waves it away. So far for Francois this year, McGolan, couple of assists as De Silva goes down. This will be whistled, and this will be a yellow card. Dambrot now wearing the captain's armband. Cannot believe it, but Gomez into the book.
Ball just checks up underneath him right here, and as he flicks it back across, there's not a lot in this. You're a bit hard done here if you're Diego Gomez. There's pressure for sure. The problem is even if the arms are up, Josh, that's where you're going to get yourself into trouble. It doesn't matter if you make contact or not. The referee's staring right at you. You can get away with those types of movements, moving across field or an alternate direction, but when you're tracking back 35, 40 yards from net, watch out.
Again from that dead ball position, here is Pierre De Silva. And you have a look at goal here, a 2-man wall for Loudoun. Silva will send this in. The header coming back centrally was not on target, and out for a goal kick. Just passing the hour mark here from Leesburg. Olu Akinyote's goal still standing up as the difference. This will be another yellow card issue. Deshaun Englund, the halftime substitute.
It's got to be given in this situation on Deshaun Englund, just coming up over the back. On United trying to tweak their shape once again. Just find a way here to create some sort of presence anywhere on the field. Looks like they are going to move to a 3. Bump DeRosa up just a little bit. Talked about that in the opening lineup, the way that they've situated themselves. How does this play out for them? And there's an understanding for that young man right there, 21, Ted Kudipietro. He's so comfortable. It's a 6, it's an 8. He can slide outside onto the wing. And if you have someone who's got the vision and the capability to be that universal mind control type guy in the midfield, Josh, where he can just kind of roam, that suits you well with that 3, because you can find ways to get DeRosa and the addition of Gabera, the fresh legs on the outside, and then watch the front 3 for Loudoun United as they start to move forward, because now you're starting to pin back this back line of Miami FC. That's the thought anyway. A lot of ticky-tack fouls right now, getting stuck in on the back. They're worried about the space and the countering. I don't blame them. But now instead of an isolated striker up top who's operating in front of the back 2, you've got 3 challenging Paco Craig and Chapman Page, and you're going to make honest men out of the likes of Janusz Luba and Richie Ballard on the outside. Got to be very careful.
If there's one of few teams who can get in a track meet or afford to, you might think it could be this Loudoun team.
Easy. Careful what you wish for, though, right?
Yeah. I don't think that's necessarily what you want, but if it came to that.
Well, the other side of it, too, and I talked about it around the 57th minute, and I understand why, because they're trying to get a match fit. Adonijah Reed comes off. You bring Englund on. Immediately, you take pace out of the game. You're saying, okay, we're going to step on the ball a bit more with the lead. Defensively, we're going to lock down the midfield a little bit more. That means Loudoun United can play a bit more than we had previously seen. And remember, this team, right around 65% of possession at halftime.
It'll be Farron to come off. Abukura to come on. A 16-year-old earning his 6th appearance of the season. Actually made his debut against Miami earlier this season. So the set piece specialist in Massimo Farron makes way. It's played over the top. Sparrow had to come out of his box and just clear this away. No harm done with that. Paz. Still coming in field and taken off the ball by Palacios. On the turn, this will be a foul and a free kick. Gomez has to be careful now on that yellow card, and Miami goes quickly. Here's Francois, one-on-one. And a missed touch, and Loudoun able to win it back. We talked about Francois just a few moments ago, coming off 6 goals and 18 starts with Ian Russell and Reno last season. DeRosa. Keep this in play in the corner. Now it's touched out. It'll be a throw-in.
Josh, you see the results of the Euros?
I did. Did you?
I did. I saw. Surprised?
No.
No.
I'm not.
Shouldn't be.
No. Unfortunately. Abukura slipping this in. And a big challenge coming in from Paco Craig at the last moment. Nearly could have been 1-1. Dambrot now. Dambrot coming through, and the shot out of play.
Sparrow was the one that highlighted in terms of offseason additions. How about Paco Craig on the back line? You have to be absolutely perfect in a tackle like this. Because you'll say probably around 50% of the time you're going to point to the spot here, Josh. Amazing defending by Paco Craig. And notice that when he steps, if he drives too much force, you're going to connect too much with the player. Not saying it would be a penalty, but the referee, given his viewpoint, could easily say, okay, point to the spot. Instead, Paco Smart really tactful here. It's a step in, still maintains possession, and then you clear.
Last few seasons with Lou City. A strong player in that back line. Here it is again.
Just watch him come right through here. Boom. Little touch. I've got it. Head up. Okay, what are my options? Now I can play out. If you just reach and you go forceful, that's when you get yourselves into trouble. And that happens so many times at this level, Josh, where you just see the space and you start to step into it. You think, okay, I have to close the space down. Not the actual mental fortitude you just saw at Paco Craig, where he goes, okay, what is my best option? Not just in the tackle, but then to get out of it once I succeed.
Francois plays this a bit behind De Silva. Miami still looking for that second goal, just leaving that door open just a little bit for Loudoun to potentially find an equalizer.
Just having a little trouble moving forward. They're getting caught in the same zones here.
Abukura surveying the scene to the end line. Does well to win a corner kick.
As they start to build back forward, Matt DeRosa and Cabrera have become the wingbacks. And what's happening is Abukura very excited to get himself involved into the game. So he starts to wander left and right, and a good look as he comes over. Paz was already there. So two players occupying the same space, and then he comes back inside. Camarni Smith had started to drift over. Good recognition by Abukura to come to the exterior. But just quick communication because the space is there. Just got to start to execute it at another level now for Loudoun.
Rudy Pietro goes down. Here comes Francois. De Silva. Option over to the left side, and it's intercepted. We'd like to apologize for any foul language that might have been picked up on our microphones. Play down the left. Othello Ba runs into Gomez, and this will be a throw-in. Luba gets this back in. Ball comes in to the middle, but right into the side netting. Florida will try to put this back in play quickly. We talked about those close games that Loudoun has played this season. So many with a one-goal margin. Plenty of them that they've come up on the wrong side of. I do give them credit, though, for taking down Pittsburgh Riverhounds right at the end of June. That was a big win. I know Pittsburgh has been through quite a stretch of games with fixture congestion.
Still.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes something special to take down a Bob Lilly coach squad. But it does go to show you what talent lies within this group, right, Josh? I mean, they can get the job done. The question is, can they do it over the entirety of the match? That's been their issue.
Here's De Silva. Trying to get around the corner. Francois took it away. 2-0 Miami. Look at that from the Cheetah.
We asked for more of them. Ask and you shall receive by Cristiano Francois. Ottawa, Reno, everywhere he stopped, including under Bob Lilly or Pittsburgh, he's had success. At what point in time was it going to translate at another level for Miami FC? There's your answer. Look at the explosion of speed. Little touch by De Silva. You don't track over by Diego Gomez, who is an out-and-out natural outside back. Tuck out on the inside. Now he's sitting within the 3. Doesn't pick up the space. Runner steps in and just demolishes this thing into the back of the net.
Cristiano Francois, his second goal on the season as De Silva now comes off for Miami. Well, there's some of that insurance. That substitution presented by Segra. Another sub that's Ariel Martinez. He comes on for Pierre De Silva. Looked like De Silva was just trying to play that up ahead for himself, and
Absolutely.
Francois said, nope, let me take this.
What's good on Francois, though, you know, he recognizes that the one-on-one has a little pressure for Pierre De Silva as he brings it across his body. It's not an easy step for the defender, but it's an understood one that's the natural progression for a player like Pierre De Silva when he cuts it through. So just a good understanding that Cristiano Francois, you could almost call it a poacher's goal, right? He's got the space, just step in, latch onto it, head down, have a go. Can you close it out now? Up 2-0, chasing a lot in the second half here. You've made the changes, put the ball on the deck, make Loudoun United chase here a little bit. Let the ball do the work, start to carry a bit more possession, and when you take your chances, you know where it's going to be. Find the feet of Martinez, push Francois into space, go get a third.
Here is Francois in space, lays this off, the substitute Martinez. 3-0 Miami, just pouring it on. There is that insurance.
We're just going to script the whole thing for you the rest of the way this is going to play out. Play into Ariel Martinez's feet, play off of him. You've still got the speed of Francois. It's a bad ball coming out of the middle on the touch. As Cuda Pietro uncharacteristically turns it over, and then look at him go to work. Where's the back line? Where's the help? Cuda Pietro comes all the way back. Diego Gomez well out of his realm. Argument from the sideline, and the linesman is that he's in an offside position. I may not necessarily disagree, but where are the jerseys from Loudoun United tracking back here? Great job on the connectivity by Martinez and Cristiano Francois to finish this off.
Baggio will come on for Miami. That's presented by Segra. All over the top, and now here's Gabera. Back for Paz. A nice little back heel. Abukura taking off the ball. It's a corner kick. Johannes was also want to come on for Loudoun, replacing Matt DeRosa.
They'll switch now too. They'll bring Johannes over to the right side. More naturally gifted up there, and bring Gabera onto this left flank. Another player, much like Cuda Pietro, who feels comfortable all over the field, interior or not.
Ball whipped in, back post, and Loudoun pulls one back. Miami's only had one clean sheet this year. It'll stay at just one. Crashing at the back post was Owen Walls for his first career pro goal. And it's now 3-1 Miami.
Love the performance that this young man put in for Hartford Athletic for about 75 minutes. Unfortunately, you couldn't get the full 90, much like the rest of his team. Haven't heard a lot of him tonight defensively. He's had to track back so much, but watch him time this. Right at the tail end of it, just a quick little step off of his defender. Create enough space, and it's a real small amount. Janusz Luba can't track him. Good explosion by the 17-year-old to tuck this in the back of the net.
That goal is brought to you by Loudoun Economic Development, always here to help you with your business goals. Our second half hydration break, so all of a sudden, here have come the goals. 2 in the last few minutes from Miami. They led 3-0, and now Loudoun has brought one back to make it 3-1. And just switched off for a moment on that set piece. He's about to talk about that they've only had 1 clean sheet all year. It'll stay at 1. I'm sure that would have been a complete performance, but now just trying to get out with 3 points.
It's just tired legs on the backside too, and you have to give credit to Owen Walls, right? He does everything right. But for Janusz Luba, he's just got a track here with the heavy legs on the back post from a set piece situation. Let's go all the way back though. 26 minutes in. Akinyoti, holding midfielder by trade, center back at night, goal scorer during the day.
During the evening?
Yeah, that's nighttime.
Okay.
4th in his career at the professional level. It's a good finish here, just tucked into the bottom corner. Don't need to kill it. Put your instep on it, stick it in, and then now we're going to grab 3 goals in the next 5 minutes. The little step in through the midfield, well timed, and then watch this space on this right-hand side. No mind if you do, and then repay the favor. Quick little touch back across the body. Cristiano Francois says, yeah, I've been eating my Wheaties. I can get there quicker than you can. You would add another one for Miami FC in the form of Ariel Martinez in the 73rd. That would come from Cristiano Francois. And then Owen Walls finally gets Loudoun United on the score sheet to get us a 3-1 inside 15 minutes to go.
So a goal and an assist for Francois. You said it, ask and you shall receive. It's been a good last few minutes for Francois. Here's Gabera. Downs sprays this out to the left for Paz, who is in an offside position. Loudoun still out shooting Miami. 13-10 overall, but 6 of those 10 shots from Miami have found the frame of goal, while just 4 have for Loudoun. Long diagonal out to this left side. Pause. They're trying it again and too far out in front. Out for a goal kick.
Unless we forget, Pause missed a penalty. 35th minute.
Sure did.
Taken down. Oh. Again, the way that that played out. Josh, you got to pick one. Let's say you're a bet man. Is that a penalty? It's a foul, but is it a penalty?
On the Pause one?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a penalty.
Do you?
I do.
It's really close.
I think it's a penalty. I think also the referee, when it's that close and it's on the line like that, will give the benefit of the doubt to the attacking team, and it'll be a penalty.
Recognize the viewpoint as well. So when a referee's movements are broken down, it's this diagonal shape. Now they'll float, but it's diagonal to cut it across.
Between the ARs.
As you start to go that way, your brain is going to see the natural movement of the defender moving inward. Your mind can play tricks on you too. I'm not saying that's what happened.
Yeah.
I'm still, look, for me it's a foul. That's the most important thing, is you understand that there is an infraction. Now the location is a whole nother argument, right? But the referee can start to see the player coming back to the inside. And that's a real good look at him. So he's basically sitting at the top of the 18 on the elbow, coming back through.
Yeah, I think penalty. The initial contact happens before, but I don't think that was the foul.
You just made the argument. If the initial contact happens, where do we go from there?
Okay, so I did a game last year, and the referee, and this was broken down. We'll get to it in a minute here as Paz comes forward. Curling this in, it's headed away. It's almost played as advantage.
You still have to go back to the spot of the initial foul, not the advantage foul. That's the rule book.
Okay.
That's the rule book.
Well, then that's where it gets confusing, and there's that gray area.
For sure. I'm saying this with you. If you're, and again, we go back to the viewpoint. If you're going by the second touch, so there's the foul right there.
Well, was that a foul? Was the initial touch the foul?
That's, for me, it is.
Okay.
But if you let it play on and you don't think that that's a foul, then you get into, okay, here's the secondary touch. The secondary one is, for me, where it gets really close. Because is the challenge in the box, because the ball is right there, but the player is out in front of it. That's hard. I don't envy the decision on that one. That's a hard one to have for the referee.
It's a good conversation to have, though, because you could hear it both ways.
And you know, I'm the first one to call him out.
Yeah.
I'll be, this is wrong, no way. That's just a very difficult decision. And then again, it went off the crossbar. So.
It all sorts itself out in the end. That was a major turning point in this game. Loudoun could have brought it back level just moments after they conceded. Then it was 3-0 all of a sudden. And within just a few minutes in the second half before Owen Walls pulled one back for Loudoun. Ariel Martinez was on the field for only a few minutes before scoring his second goal on the season. Trying to switch the play, and this will run out of play. So looking ahead for Miami FC. Home against Tampa, at Hartford, home against Charleston, at Hartford, at Pittsburgh.
Keep going.
And we were talking about this. Then at Austin, and then Hartford back at home.
Told you, 7 games.
It's a tough stretch.
7 games in a row that are going to be extremely difficult to manage. You could even make the argument if you went 2 further, you might be able to extend it to 9. Look at the 2 after it.
Red Bull and Charlotte.
Not easy, but more manageable in theory, right?
Well, we were having this conversation earlier. The Atlantic Division from top to bottom, you're going to get a fight every game. I know Loudoun may not show it on their record, but that's not an easy team to play against.
This isn't a stepping stone by any means.
No.
Loudoun United. No. Even today. It's very different than what we see out of the Central and the Eastern Conference, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a top-heavy division, but we also knew that coming in. I would say that the parity that we've seen so far, people will be very surprised over the next month and a half, 2 months, how much that changes. You're going to see the gap start to close, and these topsy-turvy results where, you know, Indy is drawing against OKC, I wouldn't expect that to continue on. 901 FC is starting to pull out some results. They're another team that has been decimated with injury and international duty, much like Miami FC has.
Yeah. And they're playing Hartford a few times coming up, and by the end of August, they'll close out their 4-game series with Hartford in the regular season. Miami will. That's one of those teams that you'd think Miami will be battling with for one of those playoff spots. They'll flip-flop spots if they can hold on to this one today. That game on Saturday, though, Miami-Tampa, I'm intrigued by that, especially because they just played and because Miami just got the win.
The Rowdies weren't bad. They're just struggling right now when they 20, 25 yards from goal. Think about the amount of guys they're missing up top. No Steven Dos Santos, Luis Fernando. Jan Ekra is finally back to help out in the midfield and stretch that game. Lucky M. Kasana.
Another look at the foul. Smith going down.
Lest we forget they have games in hand as well. So 3-4 point lead virtually, and then a couple games in their back pocket outside of Hartford and I believe the Battery, who are both sitting on 9. Is that math right?
It is.
Okay. Did something right today.
Abukura will play this square, top of the box. Downs drives this in. Couldn't find the frame of goal.
10 minutes into the first half, other end of the field. Remember this setup? And I said to you, if it's this close, a lot of times you'll see a ball come square back across, and then you put your laces and run right into it. This is exactly what you needed. Good little spot here by Awakura. Not poorly struck either. This is just outside that upper corner. It's got spare or beat if you can get it on frame.
It'll be Billy Forbes coming on for the last few minutes, replacing Richard Ballard, a Segra substitution. Billy Forbes, who has seemingly been all over the map. The Turks and Caicos international. Here's Downs in that same pocket of space. Pause. A good touch to try to come back centrally. England came in there and cut it off.
Think about the upcoming journey for Loudoun United after this match. On the road, Pittsburgh Riverhounds on the road, Tampa Bay Rowdies home, Charleston Battery home, Colorado Springs. Good Lord.
I've got to say, I'm excited to see Haji Berry on Saturday.
Absolutely.
He's been in great form. And a nice little 2-year contract. How about that? Extension.
No big deal. Just leading the league, bagging goals left and right. 12 in the back of the net so far. His pace is actually...
Yeah, I saw this.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Goals per game, or goals per minutes, I should say. Compared to Matt Fondy and his streak that he had a couple years ago for Louisville City. Of course, who can forget Cameron Lancaster? Who did he play for? Oh, that's right, Louisville City.
Yeah.
To the rich go the spoils. They broke it down in the sense that, so Matt Fondy was, so it's a minimum of 10 goals in a season is how it looks. He was a goal every 58.3 minutes. Dom Dwyer bagged 15 with Orlando City back in 2013. Every 60, basically 66 minutes. Lancaster was every 80 minutes on his record-breaking 25 goals in the regular season in 2018. And Haji Berry currently at 81 minutes. Junior Flemings was on a nice pace last year.
He was.
Before his suspension, he was 14 goals, 85 minutes. So some quality company there for Haji Berry.
All fizzled in. Dambrot. Downs. Cudi Pietro. Smith. Francois will try to get this into space. Ariel Martinez. Look at all of this space afforded to Martinez, trying to square it back. He'll get another chance. Martinez goes airborne this time. Still a chance for Martinez. And now they'll slow things down. Can I put on my analyst hat for a sec?
Tell me.
And say, you're up 3-1. Why not just take that on your own?
Well, I'm going to get there in a second. I was waiting to go off the replay. There's a very telling quote that was given to us by Paul Dalglish, about the management of the squad overall. And how there are so many different things to account for, one of which is, of course, Ariel Martinez. And, his age, 35 years old. A guy who is so good with the ball at his feet. He's still so good out in space. And to be honest, he wasn't mismanaged in Tulsa, just underutilized in the wrong fashion, to be fair. At least in my humble opinion. But you forget that he can flat out fly when need be. So you get the ball out in front of him and say, oh, you know, we got to bring him in out of the lineup, manage his legs down the stretch. Dalglish is sitting somewhere going, shoot. Let this one fly, buddy.
Here comes a long shot. This will sail well out of play. We get into 6 minutes of additional stoppage time. Let's go back and look at that last chance.
Unselfish by Cristiano Francois, though. Good recognition here as he takes off. Gomez struggling. Pull the trigger right there. Just hit it. You can't fault him, right, for the idea that he's going to cut this back across and create the spectacular. Vision has never been an issue for Martinez.
Some space down the left. This time Billy Forbes. Cutting back, Francois in the middle. Forbes wants this all himself. And then he tried to square it. Francois will still track this down. Keep it alive through Palacios. Martinez, Ariel Martinez, and there's Forbes. 4-1 Miami. There's the exclamation mark. 3 points to Miami, 4 goals as well. And there's that unselfish play.
Billy Forbes just seconds prior did all the dirty work on his side, and this is what you get out of Martinez. You can't question him, right? And you can't stop him. Just find a way to contain, but look at, he's got no room to work with. Still dances his way back through. One-on-one, could have easily tucked this home, Josh. You're right. And Forda, what's he gonna do? He's gotta cover the near post. He's gotta cover his back post against Martinez. Needs some help defensively, he gets none. Easy tuck home for Billy Forbes with all the work done by Ariel Martinez.
So Forbes gets his second goal this season. Forbes, Francois, Martinez, Adonijah Reed, Chapman Page, all with 2 goals. Talk about spreading the love around. They felt like this was a 3 points that Miami had to have. They were unbeaten their last 3 coming in. Come on the road, Sunday evening game.
Now think about the fact that they've added 33% of their goals just in one game. 12 coming in. Simple as that. Remember last game, 10 different goal scorers. Where were the goals going to come from? Grab a second from Reed, grab a second from Callan Chapman Page. I joke with Dalglish. I said, well, looks like you found a golden boot winner in your center back. Had a little chuckle there, but this is the breakout game that they need, right? You got to find a way to set a tempo for yourself. And, you know, comments coming in. Must-win situation. People are going to turn their head and go, how is this must-win? When you look at the schedule and how difficult it's going to be for them over the course of the next month and a half or so, got to get 3 points.
Here's Darluis Paz. Paz, saved by Sparrow. Abukura puts this back centrally. Gunu Pietro could have taken that himself. Instead, it's cleared away. Final 2 minutes.
12 goals coming in. You bagged 4 today. You've grabbed 6 in the previous 2 matches. You only had 5 in the previous 4. And that gives you an idea of how difficult it has been to come by goals for Miami FC. For Loudoun United, just once again, you got to feel for the growth process of this team. You know, maturing right in front of your eyes for sure. A lot of mistakes made, but a lot of good sequences as well, Josh. There's a lot of really positive talking points for this team. Now, I always make reference to how Ryan Martin is able to shape this as the season goes on. At the end of 2019, their inaugural season, they were one of the better teams in the entire USL Championship. I'm not saying that they were going to make a run at the title, but they knocked off some high-quality results down the stretch. He knows how to get the best out of his team, and sometimes it just takes a bit more time than you'd like. Injury, rotation, homegrown signings to DC United. No one said it was going to be easy. And the experience is there. You know, he understands where he needs to go get it. I mean, you're looking at a team that in that season, Red Bull beat him 7-3. Charleston Battery, St. Louis, Tampa Bay Rowdies. These are all 4 wins in a row to end the season, by the way.
Yeah.
Took down Swope Park Rangers. North Carolina FC, Birmingham Legion. I mean, come on, the results that they were getting.
Well, that does it today here from Segra Field. A convincing win for Miami FC, a win they had to have, and they do it with a 4-1 win over Loudoun United. Really impressive performance. We talked about their goal scoring as of late, and might they be starting to turn a corner into a very difficult part of their schedule.
Miami FC needed it. They got it. They got the breakout performance offensively that they were looking for. Character, right? They had to fight through this one. Wasn't exactly the start they wanted, but they get the finish. And for Loudoun United, it's not back to the drawing board. It's next man up, next game up. Find a way to turn the page and get another result.
Well, here is tonight's Segra save of the match. Both goalkeepers had pretty solid games. This was back in the first half.
Connor Sparrow and Jermaine Forta were magnificent. And Forta, last time out, same thing for Hartford. You know, he's not the tallest of goalkeepers, but he's got great lateral movement. We saw that all night long. Just a slide to the right to close down the space on the speedy Adonijah Reed. Well done.
Well, that does it here from Loudoun United. We'll come back and wrap things up, but it finishes Miami 4, Loudoun 1.
In the heart of DC's wine country lies a retreat and conference center like no other, where award-winning chefs create signature dishes using local farms, where the wine is poured just miles from the vines and the beer is brewed right next door, where challenge courses invigorate and meeting rooms inspire, where the welcome starts at check-in and continues throughout your stay. Like Loudoun United, the National Conference Center builds world-class teams in the place we all call home. Saddle up.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
The two Indiana boys chatting things up at the end of this one. Miami 4, Loudoun United 1. Timmy Mel had to come off injured early on in this second half. So let's go back and look at the full-time highlights. It started in the 26th minute. That was when the scoring got started. Corner kick and Bolu Akinyode, right place, right time.
Fourth time's the charm for Bolu Akinyode as he nets his 4th goal in his professional career. Little touch, steps back, steps in, steps up. Opening goal for Miami FC. Just underneath the half-hour mark. You love to see it for the boys in blue. They get their 1-0 lead on the road, and you know, we say it's controversy. Let's get this out of the way. It's a foul. Is it a penalty? We looked so many times. We discussed it. We broke it down. We had high noon tea. Couldn't figure it out. Referee points to the spot. Paz points to the crossbar. He's got Sparrow beat. But old lady Woodwork gets right in the way. Little kiss off the post. Never hurt anybody. 3 goals in 5 minutes. Sit back. Popcorn. Here it comes. Good step in the midfield. They go to work. Watch the little touch on the outside. And Francois just sits here as he plays it through. Bides his time. Drifts down underneath. You're going to see a little cutback across the body. And then the explosion of speed. Francois goes.
Bang.
Defensively, watch Dambrot. He slows up here to try and hope that this thing can be ushered over the end line. Doesn't recognize that Francois is going to step in. A little bit of a poacher's goal, but you'll take it any way you can get it. Don't matter whatsoever. Play through Martinez. Play through Francois. Play through both. It's fun to make friends. 3-1.
Gomez kept everybody on side there on the far side. Good unselfish play, and Martinez gets his goal. 75th minute, though. Loudoun would have their one chance, and Owen Wall's first pro goal.
It's a great strike on the back post by Owen Walls. Was really impressed with this young man. 17 years of age, by the way. Would never be able to tell it from his height. And the way that he's been playing on the field, carries himself at another level, but Ariel Martinez is a bad, bad man. Look at him go to work. Sets the dinner table for everybody. Even dessert on the back post for Billy Forbes. 4th of the night. Good on Miami FC.
Job well done. Full-time stats. Shot still well in favor of Loudoun. We talked about that conversion rate, and it strikes up again.
You got better for Miami FC, though. You know, they've struggled in the final third as well, and for Dalglish and everything Thompson, you know, they talk about, hey, they need a 9. They want things to get better. We've really struggled with goals. If you play like this, you do not need one. It's as simple as that. If you can get the best out of your midfield and your attacking options, not your 9s, your attacking options moving forward, they can compete. Can you do it when it matters most? That's going to be the question for them down the stretch.
Well, that wraps things up here from Segra Field in Leesburg, Virginia. Job well done to Miami FC. They come on the road, tough place to play, and get the job done. 4-1 for the Blue and Orange. That's going to do it for our entire crew. Broadcast partner Devin Kerr. I'm Josh Eastern saying so long. We'll talk to you next week for more USL Championship on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.